Here on YouTube, there are a lot of arguments raging between atheists and theists. A lot of the time, neither side seems to do a very good job of persuading the other. In my opinion, the arguments from the non-believers generally make more sense than those from the believers. This is especially obvious where young earth creationists are concerned. These guys seem unable to distinguish between an atheist and a scientist. They disagree with some of the conclusions of science and blame it on atheists. They use words like evolutionist and Darwinist to describe non-believers, even those who hardly touch on the subject of evolution. They demonstrate a high level of scientific illiteracy, ignorance of basic science in other words. With a little focused learning, they could answer so many of their own questions and come to realize how daft they sound when they keep repeating the same misconceptions. There seems to be a great deal of confusion about where the boundary lies between belief and knowledge, especially amongst the religious. Many of them appear to attach more importance to what they believe than trying to figure out what is true. Perhaps I have a fundamentally flawed way of looking at the world, but it seems more sensible to me to learn about the world first, listen to the science, ideas and beliefs, and through careful and critical examination you should be drawn towards what seems most plausible. If you then discover something new which shows your previous beliefs were flawed, learn, improve and move on. Don't be afraid to admit that you were mistaken. Faith, in the religious sense, is believing that God is real without any hard physical evidence. The evidence presented by the religious is at best circumstantial. People of faith often claim to feel the Holy Spirit within them. Let me now stray slightly off topic. I have had some amazing experiences in my life which I used to think were a glimpse into the spiritual world. I sometimes have lucid dreams. For those who don't know, a lucid dream often starts as a normal dream. But then you realize that you are dreaming. Often you wake up at this point, but if you're lucky you stay asleep, but your brain wakes up, so you can remember clearly what you had for dinner, when you went to bed, where you are, what day it is, and so on. You then have the chance to explore your dream world. If you want to float up off the ground, you can. You can also walk through walls, look at yourself in a mirror, or try to read something in a book in your house, so you can check it later. This has never worked for me. Either I can't see clearly enough to read, or I can't see anything to read. Usually, after a few minutes, you feel a sense of being pulled in a particular direction, or falling or spinning, and then you wake up properly. One of the most amazing things about these experiences is that if it started as a bad dream, as soon as you realize it's only a dream, you realize there's no need to be scared. No one can hurt you. I've been shot and stabbed many times, but there was no pain or upset. I laughed at my enemies, and they suddenly became harmless. Many people have told me that these are out-of-body experiences. I tried many times to prove that to myself by going somewhere or seeing something which I could not conjure up in my imagination, but could verify after I woke up. I looked for things in drawers, on top of cupboards and in the street, but always when I checked later it was different or something I could have imagined. So my conclusion is that lucid dreams are not a glimpse into any world that is connected to the real world of being a human awake on the surface of the earth, but rather a glimpse into the subconscious mind, an awakening of consciousness at a time when consciousness is normally asleep. Normal dreams unfold and happen almost like you're watching TV, but you don't know it's a dream, and you don't choose what to do beyond a kind of animal instinct of being scared and running away from monsters and bad guys. That was a bit of a digression, but my point is that a profound personal experience might not be what you first think it is. The feeling religious people get, which they describe as the Holy Spirit, might be something else. Don't take my word for it, I could be wrong. But try to be open to the possibility that you might also be wrong. I like to think that what I believe is connected as strongly as possible to reality. The truth of reality is more important to me than what I'd like to be true or hope is true. It might be comfortable to believe that we were created by a more intelligent being than ourselves, but is that really what happened? It would be nice if our consciousness continued to exist after our body dies, but whether it does or not, I don't know. I used to believe that it probably would, but the older I get, the less likely it seems. My advice to anyone who finds themselves seduced by religious claims is to beware of any pastor, imam, priest or holy book which tries to discourage research into other religions, beliefs and science. If you were created by God, then God must have created your brain and given you the ability to think critically. Surely, He would want you to use it to its full potential, to marvel at His wonderful universe, to see and understand how it works. Learning and increasing your understanding is a wonderful thing. If religious claims are true, then curiosity-driven research will only confirm this.